Trump voters are finally waking up and realizing they made a mistake.
He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
Their eyes are open now, whether it's through the Epstein files.
We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Trump's name also appears more times in the Epstein file than Harry Potter's name appears in the 7 books about Harry Potter.
Tweeting racist videos or just being an all-around terrible person.
You know, Biden was always a mean guy, but never a smart guy. You know, even you go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he was a stupid guy, but he was always a mean son of a, you know? How's it working? Not working too well for him right now.
Trump is a much worse person than they even thought he was. Not to mention how bad he's been for this economy or the country as a whole.
So what we've seen is Americans rating the job market. It was an even split a year ago, and now the clear majority by a 19-point margin rate it as bad.
And honestly, it's about time that good people, normal people that chose to vote for Trump are finally snapping back to reality.
As a former Republican and someone who lived inside the MAGA world, especially with friends and family still living in it, there are a couple things I'd like to expose about MAGA. The first is detachment from the issue. MAGA's built an entire identity around the appearance of strength. That's not strength, it's insecurity. It's rooted in the fear of being left behind, a fear that their ideology is losing ground.
Even they're realizing that completely removing the Trump regime is the only way to save democracy. Even big names that supported Trump are speaking out against him.
ICE murdered an American citizen in cold blood, and then the Trump administration called him a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like plain and simple.
Yeah.
I see the administration trying to spin it, and it's disgusting.
And now Trump voters are actually calling into shows and news networks and making public statements of how much they regret voting for Trump.
John, did you vote for him in all 3 elections?
I did. I was sucked into the stupidity of creating jobs.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Oh, my word. I am a registered Republican. My dad was the president of American Pipeliners Association, so I came by it rather naturally. Voted for the president, supported him, but I really want to apologize. I mean, I'm looking at this awful picture of the Obamas. What an embarrassment to our country. All this man does is tell lies. He is not worthy of the presidency. He takes bribes blatantly, and now he's being a racist.
I'm glad a caller and former Trump fan and former MAGA is calling all this out. Everything he's saying, we knew about Trump the first term. We knew about his family using the federal government as a bank account and stealing money. His son-in-law meeting with world leaders and getting deals for his real estate business. Making deals and making all world leaders come stay at Mar-a-Lago. Like, Trump has been racist.
Donald Trump has a history of racism himself.
No, that's not true.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry,
Donald Trump started his career with racism. In the 1970s, he was sued for housing discrimination. In 1989, he was a part of he was led the lynch mob against the Central Park Five. In the 1990s, he was sued by casino workers for racial discrimination. He led a 5.5-year campaign against Barack Obama for allegedly not having an accurate birth certificate. Donald Trump came in office talking about he was going to ban Muslims, and he was called Mexicans were supposedly
He has the
drugs.
most
Donald Trump has a long history. You didn't deny anything of the things I just said.
We remember the Muslim ban and all the racist shit he said the first term. So why would it take this specific picture to make you finally see that Trump is a horrible person? I guess this is icing on the cake, cherry on top, but you already knew who Trump was.
Blatantly, they were supposed to deport the dangerous criminals. They were not supposed to go after small children, storm schools, bring terror upon, the little kids and the women and children, not just the immigrants in the school. All the children are scared. This is not a decent man.
When was he ever a decent man? If this was Obama behaving like Trump, saying some of the things, well, matter of fact, Obama would have never made it to office if he had one baby mama or one ex-wife, let alone 3 of them. But if while Obama was in office, he did any of the things Trump did, you know how quickly he would have been impeached?
Not an honest man. He openly takes bribes. He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
John, did you vote for him in all 3 elections?
I did. I was sucked into the stupidity of creating jobs.
You voted for him all 3 elections? People knew exactly who Trump was after his first term. If you didn't know who he was after his first term, and those 34 counts of felony didn't convict you of that, or him causing an entire insurrection, or continue to be hateful, racist, misogynistic, in his 4 years inside and outside of office, you should know exactly who he was not to vote for him a 3rd time.
And there are no more jobs in New Mexico. Things are worse than they were before. You cannot find a primary care physician. Our governor just passed some laws to try to help.
Things are worse everywhere for everybody because Trump is in office. But him and his friends are doing great. They're making billions of dollars. His net worth has tripled since he's been in office just this year. And you want to be thankful that people are waking up to how horrible Trump is and coming back to the center and realizing we need to do something different in this country. But again, 3 times you voted for that man, and he hasn't changed. He just has more opportunity and less guardrails to do exactly what he wants to do now. He's been the same miserable, horrible person with the same sycophants around him. 3-time Trump voter apologizes, slams Trump for racist posts of the Obamas, then rips his cruel ICE policy and corruption. He did that, and the apology is nice because even these influencers like Andrew Schultz haven't apologized for supporting Trump. They've just spoken out against him. And this is literally the culture that MAGA created. The cruel kids table. Out late with the young right as they contemplate cultural domination. I think the cultural domination moment is definitely over after the TPUSA halftime show bombed.
I just wanna catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer.
I just wanna kiss my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer. What's stopping you, though? What's stopping you from doing all that right now?
Complete and total dweebs demanding safe spaces, despite the fact that they are in charge of everything, they've lost. And the Turning Point USA halftime show at the Super Bowl last night was kind of the final nail in the coffin.
And everybody hates MAGA and Trump. These fucking losers had an opportunity to nab 15 years of cultural supremacy, and they squandered it in 15 seconds. They did. MAGA is just not as influential or big or threatening as it was before. They're fighting internally. The Republican Party is literally imploding behind the cover-up of the Epstein files and everything going on with the economy. Former MAGA explaining MAGA.
As a former Republican and someone who lived inside the MAGA world, especially with friends and family still living in it, there are a couple things I'd like to expose about MAGA. They will absolutely reject it, especially because it's coming from someone who lived that life. The first is detachment from the issue. MAGA's built an entire identity around the appearance of strength.
That's the thing with MAGA going all the way up to the top. Trump has always refused to apologize for anything. Even when it came to tweeting that racist video of the Obamas, he just outright refused to apologize and then randomly blamed the staffer for messing up the post. And that's all of MAGA. They're all the way dug in on their side. So facts, reality, nothing gets through that distortion field. Nothing will change their opinions on what the truth is for them about Trump, about MAGA, about everybody else. It's very cult-like.
They want you to believe they are the adults in the room. They want a strong man. They define strength as obedience, dominance, and power that can be enforced. But that's not strength. It's insecurity. It's rooted in the fear of being left behind, a fear that their ideology is losing ground.
Whether they're calling it this or not, it's the great replacement theory, that the white majority is dissolving into a country of cultural diversity, and that once they're out of power, they're going to be victimized by people of color. Like all of a sudden, we're going to take over and start locking them in cages or something. It's a weird theory that they concocted as motivation to demonize all black and brown people and galvanize their audience so that they can maintain power.
Society is becoming more inclusive, more multiracial, and willing to challenge old hierarchies. And that terrifies them. That makes them hide behind toughness. That's why they mock empathy. That's why they call liberals emotional, bleeding hearts, or overly sensitive. It isn't because we put feelings over facts. It's because MAGA uses apathy as their anchor. If they allowed themselves to engage with the moral and ethical consequences of policies or actions, they would be exposed. Exposed to their own contradictions, exposed to their own tribe, and exposed to questions they're not willing to answer.
We see that anytime these people debate or get in an argument with somebody or a need for facts comes up, they're just deer in headlights dumb, like don't know anything about anything other than regurgitated MAGA talking points.
So caring gets reframed as weakness, and passion about injustice gets dismissed as overreaction. Not because it's wrong, but because vulnerability to truth is something they're too afraid to allow. And the second is the myth of research. I didn't dig when I was a Republican. I conclusion shopped. I searched for information that confirmed what I already believed. I avoided anything that challenged my worldview because discomfort felt like danger. That information machine still exists today. Same talking points, same outrage loops, and same selective facts. But the difference is, I stepped away. I challenged my own beliefs and I let truth shape my opinions instead of bending facts to protect my identity. I know how you think. I know how you research. I know how you deflect because I did it. And
how you research, as in don't research and just go to your echo chamber and get told exactly what you want to hear.
Holding that mirror up makes people uncomfortable. So yeah, you could attack me all you want. I'm still going to expose you because I was once you. And for some silly reason, I still hold hope that people will eventually choose truth over loyalty.
I mean, it is happening. It's taking a lot longer than it should. And it's happening for different reasons. Some MAGA conservatives are really upset about the cover-up going on with the Epstein files. Some are really upset about the economy and what's happening to our country as a superpower. And then you have some upset at just the outright racism that we see from MAGA, from Trump. And it's really showing now, which makes sense because this past January saw the highest layoffs since 2008, which was the Great Recession.
The latest PBS News NPR Marist poll shows a majority of Americans disapprove of the job that President Trump is doing, with the majority strongly disapproving. How significant is the intensity of that opposition at this point in his term?
What we found this week is that the president actually is at his lowest standing of his second term. And it's really driven by some key constituents that have soured on him since he was first sworn in. Latino voters, younger voters, independent voters, those were all critical to his success in 2024. But the group that really is the most fascinating to me, and I think it's going to be really important as we watch these next few months go forward, are the voters that we always think of as his core constituencies, white working class voters who have long been very much behind the president. We're seeing some significant slippage there, both in the PBS poll and in the Cook Political Report aggregator. And these are the kinds of voters that you could argue that the slippage is really driven by views on the economy.
Trump took a beautiful swan and turned it into an ugly duckling as far as the American people are concerned. Because these numbers, as John and I were discussing just before this segment, absolutely crazy in how the American people have totally turned on Donald Trump. Take a look here. Trump's net approval rating on jobs and employment. In January 2025, look at that. Overall, plus 9 points. Hey, that's pretty good. But down he goes, minus 13 points overall. But you think that's nuts? Take a look at the independents. They go from plus 7 way down off the screen to minus 30 points. That's a 37-point drop in the net approval for Donald Trump among independents on the issue of jobs and employment.
And the MAGA implosion continues with Nick Fuentes speaking out against Trump, this administration, and MAGA as a whole.
The halftime show was in Spanish and all the performers were brown people. The message was, this is what America looks like, a mosaic of Latin peoples. Clearly it was political. Clearly it was a middle finger to white people. Weird take. Are you even a white nationalist at this point?
Honestly, I don't feel like one anymore. I feel like, do I want America to be a white country? Yes. I'm pro-white, but
I'll never understand that because he's a Mexican. It's just the weirdest thing.
Movement has just been captured by losers and idiots, and I'm kind of just done pandering. I fucking hate these people. That's how I feel about it. When I look at what the movement has become, like the kind of impulses that have captured it, it's just kind of depressing. And I've always been forward thinking, and I've always been heterodox, and I've always been progressive in a way, and increasingly I don't feel like I fit in with that anymore.
I don't know if this is what Nick Fuentes is trying to say, but it seems like MAGA is so MAGA now. Like the whole entire right is extreme. I mean, Republican leaders are defending Jeffrey Epstein and the most notorious PDF ring we've ever seen. MAGA went online immediately after Trump tweeted that Obama video and started defending him, saying it wasn't racist. It was just a small part of a larger video. When everybody around you, MAGA as a whole, is so extreme, that kind of steals somebody like Nick Fuentes' whole thing, which is being extreme. If everybody is extreme as you, it's kind of like you're just one of many. You're in the mix. You're not that special or important. And it seems like that's exactly what Nick Fuentes is feeling now.
So no, I don't think I'm like you, because now it's turned into, it used to be the case that if you were against white genocide, if you're pro-white, if you're against immigration, like that is what it meant to be on our side. Now it's like you have to be a Republican culture warrior. I have to be spun up about the Super Bowl halftime show.
They thought they were going to take over culture. That's exactly what they thought would happen. And it's just not. They're the outliers. They're the weirdos. They're the people crying and complaining about something nobody else is crying about. The same way they used to say Democrats act is how they act now.
It's so low IQ. It's so low IQ. It's so monotonous, so repetitive. You're screaming at the halftime show because it's in Spanish. Okay. I mean,
let's be clear. Nick is only defending this because he probably likes Bad Bunny. Trust me, if it was another Kendrick Lamar, a Dr. Dre performance, or any other rapper or black person, Nick Fuentes would not be going this hard against MAGA.
Am I supposed to do this performative outrage? Why? I'm supposed to get up out of my seat? Who gives a fuck? You know? So I just don't, I don't think I fit in anymore. We've reached the high watermark of that stuff. I've been doing this for 10 years. I was into this before it was popular, before it was mainstream.
Everybody's stepping on his toes. They're taking Nick Fuentes' whole shtick, basically.
And now it's filled with a bunch of complete fucking idiots, and it's really just turned into signaling that you're a part of an in-group. It's no longer interesting to me. It's no longer interesting. It's not funny anymore. It's not edgy. It's really just become a drag. At one point, we were the trolls, and now we're the butthurt ones.
Very obvious this was coming. White nationalism is as mainstream as it's ever been, and his entire grift is being a gay contrarian edgelord. Facts. I don't know if he ever said he was gay, but we all think that. These people have never truly believed in anything. Facts. With the TPUSA event that was supposed to rival the Super Bowl flopping, Trump being disliked by most of America now, and MAGA and the Republicans just being seen as a party that's running defense and cover for the biggest pedophile ring in American history. And it's no wonder why people that were Trumpers or MAGA are finally waking up and realizing they're on the wrong side of history. Like I said throughout this video, it took them all way too long to wake up and realize this, because he should have never been able to gain office a second time. But like they say, better late than never, right? Shout out to my channel members. Thanks for supporting. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.